to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth.
We have a liftoff, 32 minutes past the hour.
That's one small step for man.
Well, I joined the Air Force in August of 1958, and we were right in the middle of the Cold War then.
You know, a big arms race basically. It wasn't a hot war, it was a Cold War to get out and build the other countries.
The Soviet Union had been working on the Sputnik satellite for years, as well as trying to perfect their rocket technology, when in 1957 they successfully launched the very first man-made satellite into space.
And it was all on TV about the Sputnik, and it was up, and you could go up in the night sky and see it streak across the sky. And I remember my folks and myself and my brother went up around there was a reservoir, and we'd stand there at night and watch.
The U.S. quickly began programs to gather intelligence about Soviet space operations.
I went into a classified program. It's been called Corona. It's been declassified. Sputnik was what really kicked off this Corona program. So it was our first successful one. You know, it was, even though it was 2 years after theirs, it was the first satellite that actually went up and did something. They took all the pictures, so we knew, you know, it gave us a good idea of what was going on, not only in Cuba, but, you know, Russia and some of the Chinese sites. So we had a pretty good idea of what their military power was.
John F. Kennedy told the United States of his plans to be the first country to make it to the moon.
I guess it was Kennedy pretty much kicked him pretty good when he made a speech.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energy and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
And I remember Kennedy saying on the speech that that we were going to go to the moon. The race was on.
However, in 1963, before he was able to see the race through, John F. Kennedy was assassinated.
Someone came running in college and said he's been shot. I remember our professor saying, "Oh, they'll just doctor him up, he'll be fine." And then they came in and they said he was dead. He just dropped his glasses and left the classroom. It was a very traumatic day.
The death of JFK was a tragedy, but did not halt the U.S.'s efforts to advance its space programs. With rocket technology advancing, the Apollo 11 was set to launch in the summer of 1969.
You know, it was on TV, and so you'd sit in front of the TV just kind of, you know, awe-inspired by the, you know, the takeoffs and everything.
I can remember watching it on my parents' television set.
Past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Kind of associated with the space, so I was pretty proud of that.
3 United States astronauts, including Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, and Buzz Aldrin, would be the first humans to set foot on the moon. Their efforts would inspire everyone.
You got goosebumps and everything else just watching it because it was just such an event. You know,
People from all around the world watched and listened to their fellow aviators step out of their shuttle as history was created and legends were born.
We were listening to the radio when Armstrong landed on the moon.
I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. I just can't tell you how proud we all are of what you... For every American, this has to be the proudest day of our lives.
All the people, scientists, and astronauts involved in this test of bravery will never be forgotten.